Hey guys, welcome back.
It's the Spider Pals podcast, back with another episode.
I'm Addy,
I'm Zach. And I'm B-Man.
and today we're bringing you a brand new podcast episode to talk about Brand New Day.
Anyways, enough talk about my hair. Let's talk about
Let's-
Brand New Day.
I freaked out when Zach sent me because Zach got up before me and sent me the video that they posted, and it's best part of my day, honestly.
Yes. I woke up. It was the first, one of the first things I saw, and I just freaked out. I was so excited. The suit, it was the first picture I saw, full res suit, and I was like, and that's instantly number 2 favorite. TASM 2 still is number 1. This is number 2. And I was just thinking, and it was kind of funny to see all the people who were hating on it yesterday all are like, oh, this is the best suit. I'm like, yeah, it's funny.
You said hating on it?
There was
Yeah, no,
so there was people actually hating on the suit. So on TikTok, since I have TikTok and you guys don't, I got a whole other side of people reacting to the suit, and a lot of people were like, "Oh, CGI is gonna ruin it. It looks so stupid. Like the rays." And I was like, "You guys don't know what you're talking about. Like, listen, you gotta trust Marvel's process." And then when all the pics came out, I think it was today when they came out, of Tom Holland on set on top of the tank thingy, all of the things, everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, I love the suit." And it's like, yeah, you switched up because you gotta trust Marvel.
So that was interesting to see. It's kind of like what people did with Andrew Garfield. It's like everyone hated him, and then No Way Home came out, and they're like, "Oh, actually, he's great."
Yeah.
It's like this with the suit. It's like, "Oh, the suit sucks," and then real pictures come out. "Oh, it's great." Like, can't we just make up for
All it is one person deciding they hate it, and then other people hopping on that trend.
Yeah, I
If you're gonna join the hate, hello.
I do think the spider emblem could just be a tad bit longer, but honestly,
no, it's perfect. If it was any longer, it would look too similar to the TASM 2 suit, and I like that there's a little bit of differentiation.
Yeah.
Plus, it mixes a little bit of Toby's suit in there because it's about the same proportions, so it kind of blends all three together.
I saw some set pics of what's happening in Brand New Day, and as far as I know, I could be incorrect about this, but it looks like they're doing some sort of chase in the city, and it involves a giant truck. And the way they had it was set up where it was kind of balancing. So my guess is Peter's gonna catch it. There's gonna be a web situation, and then there was that armored vehicle, and then I saw there was a tent of a villain. You couldn't see who was in it, but everyone's like, oh my gosh, it's a villain. I don't know if they're planning on putting the villain that early into the movie, but
yeah.
You never could. They did that with Max, I think, back in TASM 2. Wasn't he
Yeah, TASM 2. Speaking of TASM 2, and this was way before Brand New Day even had its title. I wanted the next Spider-Man movie to open up with some sort of chase scene because I wanted to see Tom Holland do some sort of vehicle chase scene. And then when I saw the set pictures today, I was even more excited because with the whole tank and everything, seeing that, with him on top, doing all the Spidey moves on top, I'm like, yes, this is exactly what I want to see. And I'm hoping it's the opening for the movie. Because I think if they open it with the Marvel Studios title crawl playing the Spider-Man theme, and then it continues and goes out, and kind of shots from the PS4 and PS5 games where you just see his feet running and the flip of the hand, give us little teases, and then you get to see a full shot of him swinging and then to stop vehicle. I think that would be the coolest way to open up the movie. Just it ended with him swinging from in No Way Home. So I think if they open up Brand New Day with him doing a swinging through the city, and I mean, other than Far From Home, we haven't gotten a ton of just Tom Holland regular swinging through the city, which I would love to see more of, especially in that suit. Love that suit. It is just Steve Ditko's design, just put right on a screen, even down to the web shooters and the lenses. Even the face shell is slightly different and more angled. It's very obviously extremely similar to Tom Holland's looks from Homecoming, Far From Home, No Way Home, all that what we've had before, but it's just altered slightly to be a little bit more comic accurate, but still look, like Tom Holland. You look at it and you immediately think it's him. But with just the design elements that they've changed, I absolutely love it. I could go on the entire episode just talking about the suit alone, but I won't for time's sake.
I was getting that feeling of you just... I saw this one TikToker today that just kept going on and on about the suit, and it was a 30-minute video. I'm like, that's Zach. I'm really excited to see now that, because back when Thunderbolts was filming and like the Superman movie and like all of these and Fantastic Four, we never got like a post that was like day one of film. And like,
Yes.
it looks like they're going to be showing a lot more behind the scenes, and I think it's because they are on location and stuff. I actually really like that. I think that was a good idea. And also, I saw all the videos of like Tom interacting with kids and like the community kind of being involved. And like, honestly, that is what Spider-Man's all about. Like, involving everyone. I'm so excited that it's more practical. There's less CGI. Marvel has finally gone down a route where it's like CGI is not the number one thing we need to focus on, especially with Thunderbolts, which we haven't got a chance to talk about on this podcast yet, but love Thunderbolts. When they did Florence Pugh jumping off the second highest building in the world, like that kind of level that Marvel is bringing back into the movies is insane, and I absolutely love it. And I'm really hoping with the Spider-Man movie, when it comes out, we like keep at that level. Like, I haven't seen Fantastic Four yet, but everyone says it's amazing. Thunderbolts was really good. Brave New World wasn't my favorite, but they did a good job with like CGI and stuff, I think, if I can recall it. I honestly don't remember the plot that much, but Marvel's been kind of going on a good streak. And overall, superhero movies this summer has been insane. Like, the Superman movie I haven't watched yet, but I've seen so much of. And, like, I love that we're getting back to the roots of superhero stuff where it's, like, brighter colors. You know, we're going back to street-level things involving the community. Like, kind of the whole idea of, like, because Superman and Spider-Man and, like, Captain America, like, all of these, like, great superheroes are, like, symbols of hope and stuff. And, like, great role models for kids, and seeing them interacting with kids and, like, kind of out instead of like in a studio is actually really nice.
I completely agree. Like seeing all the set photos and people taking pictures, and then all the videos of him interacting with fans and kids made my day. And I hope they continue that, like you were mentioned, like just continue to keep going with that, giving us little teases and leaks. You don't have to, keep everything super under wraps. I think the movie will be more successful the more preliminary stuff you show, because obviously went super viral everywhere today. Yeah. That's just building the excitement, building the hype. The movie's a year away, yet we're already all so excited and ready for it, and there's not even been an official trailer. So I think if movie studios in general do more stuff like that, I honestly think it'd be kind of for the better. Obviously, there are certain things like, with Secret Wars and Doomsday coming, there's going to be some surprises that you'll want to keep under wraps. And with No Way Home, like, if we knew Andrew and Toby were going to be in it, that would have ruined the surprise. Like, there are certain things, yes, but even something simple as, like, showing an actor on set in their costume, or, like, unedited, just raw footage of that, or, the behind-the-scenes stuff, like the sets and, like, all the tents and different things. You mentioned, like, the villain one. Mm-hmm. That type of stuff, it's good. It's what we want to see. The more you have that, I think the more successful it'll be. And I don't know if you saw in some of the set photos, they even had little advertisements in there. They had the Sony PS5. It's a Sony movie, and they had a PS5 ad on there. So
I did
all
not
PS5
see that.
Owners here now. So love that.
Officially got my first PS5, and I still haven't gotten the game yet, but trust me, when I start like playing it, we're probably gonna have an episode or two about those games.
Oh, yes, that is an episode coming. So little sneak peek there. Let's talk about that tank design. I noticed there's a few logos on there. I can't exactly identify what those logos were or if they mean anything necessarily. You've seen the pictures. Let us know down in the comments. Comment away. Let's get the ball rolling. Let's get some theories going on what those symbols could be, because I thought it was pretty interesting that they just had those logos on there. So it'd be cool to see.
I didn't see them, but I saw this one thing that what's his name is gonna be the main villain, and I can't remember his name, and I know that's not helpful. It's
Chameleon.
Mr. Negative. I saw some theories of him being the main, and honestly, super excited to see that, because we got to see in the PS5 game where Miles kind of went into Peter's head and saw everything. I think that would be like very interesting to see, because I think the whole point of this movie is to show like kind of how alone he is too. Like, because honestly, if Marvel were to spin it off as like he instantly falls in love with somebody else, I'm not going to be happy about that. Like, he needs to be single for like 2 minutes, please. Like, I think honestly, this movie, they really need to focus on like, love's important. MJ, she's probably still waiting, but like focusing on becoming Spider-Man and like kind of falling in love with Spider-Man again, because I think he lost a lot of love for it, because all it's done so far has really made him lose everything he has. So I think having this movie being a big like going back to the city kind of thing, kind of how they wrapped up the TASM 2 movie, where at the end, you know, super depressed because Gwen died, but then he goes back into being Spider-Man. I think that's a very important thing to have in this movie.
Yes, no, I agree. That's exactly what I want to see going forward. So I think it's been confirmed that Zendaya will be in Brand New Day. I hope she's only in it a little bit, doesn't play a huge role. They kind of like hint at her, you know, being in it. Like he'll see her in different scenes, kind of like how Andrew in Amazing Spider-Man 2, he kind of follows Gwen around. If we get some of that with Tom and Zendaya, I think that will be perfect. But don't have them interact too much. I want to like give us, like you were saying, give us a movie where Tom Holland's just on his own. He's single, loves being Spider-Man, street level, all of that. Go back to the roots of the character. Then second, maybe even wait till the third movie till they can get back together or something to work that out. And to be honest, I don't really think they necessarily need to incorporate like Gwen Stacy or Black Cat as love interests. And if they are introduced in the MCU as just characters, you know, like if we get a Spider-Gwen in the MCU, that would be cool.
Please.
Or just like Black Cat as a villain. That's good, but I don't really think we need the extra romance in there, just because I don't think fans would exactly take it great, just because, you know, Tom Holland and Zendaya, obviously they're engaged, and we've seen the relationship grow over so many movies now. If they kind of throw another love interest in there, I think it would just kind of ruin the storytelling a little bit. So I don't think they should do that. But no, like you're saying, street level, keep it single, loving Spider-Man. I would love to see him do more interactions with like kids and like more of the street, like we saw in Homecoming with like the bicycle thief and all, like, or he's on like the tram or trolley, whatever, like talking to the people, stuff like that. I'd love to see more of that going forward in that movie. I hope it takes up a good chunk of it as well. Like, don't necessarily need to get super involved with, you know, villains or anything like that. Like, if we just see more simple day-to-day Spider-Man stuff, I'd love to see that. And obviously, you gotta have the villains in there, make a compelling plot for the movie, right? But I think the more screen time they spend doing like the street level stuff and just kind of getting back to the roots of that character, maybe even like having him do some new comic book things that we haven't seen before, I think that would be absolutely awesome.
I want to see him work at the pizza place so bad.
Oh, yes.
I want to see it so bad. And I want some of the like comedy that we had in Homecoming, because I remember the first time I showed you two Homecoming, because you guys had seen Toby and Andrew, but never had seen Tom Holland, and it was one of the best experiences that I have watching a movie with you guys. Fun. We were cracking up so much, and it was kind of back to, you know, when you're 15, you think you're invincible, and that's what he thought, and obviously he was proven wrong, but all of the like happy-go-lucky kind of feeling that come with that, like I'm excited to kind of get that back. And I think a big chunk of this movie too would be like returning to your roots. So we started Spider-Man off as like he was very agile, like in Civil War. We saw him move in ways that we've not seen again. Like he actually like attacked like a spider a bit, and he just obliterated Bucky and Sam, and then Vulture just like basically took him out, like, but he stopped a Winter Soldier. So I'm interested to see like returning back to his roots of like who he is himself, rather than like, I've seen some theories where it's like he's gonna lose himself to Spider-Man and like only be that, and I really hope Marvel doesn't do that. I hope they like shape it in a way where Spider-Man is still very important to him, but like don't lose Peter Parker the entire way, because then that loses the essence of Spider-Man. Like, I know there's comic lines of him being just Spider-Man, but I think if you go too much into one thing, you're gonna lose the reason why you do it. And I think Peter Parker kind of needs to have a life, and I'm really hoping, like, when his contract ends and all of that, I really hope Miles Morales gets introduced and we kind of get to see the mentorship happen, and maybe some recalls to him and Tony, and just Peter Parker, like, either, I don't want him to die, but Marvel's probably gonna do it, or, like, him finally get, like, a happy ending, because no one gets them in Marvel anymore, and, like, out of everyone, I feel like Peter Parker should get it, because he's been working, like, since he was, like, 14, and, you know, we didn't get one with Wanda, but I'm hoping they kind of give him a nice ending to his character. So I'm hoping, I don't know, I'm kind of rambling on about this, but yeah, that's.
I agree that I don't think they're gonna go all. He's like super committed to Spider-Man, forgets about Peter Parker because we see at the end of No Way Home he moves into his own apartment. So I hope a big part of this movie is gonna be, where's my rent? Where's my money?
I want to see the, I'll pay your rent when you fix this damn door, like that.
Language. But no, to your point, I agree. A lot of stuff like that. That's Peter Parker, the more grounded aspects. Now, I don't think they will go in the direction where he loses himself to Spider-Man. I think Spider-Man and Peter Parker, obviously the same person, they go hand in hand so well. You have to, in order for it to be a successful Spider-Man movie, and especially with the comics too, there's a lot of Spider-Man comics where you don't even see him in the suit. Like, it's just straight up Peter Parker.
Mm-hmm.
And if they're going to the more comic accurate roots, like they are, I mean, just with all the new suit designs going out and everything, and kind of the storylines they're following, they're definitely going and moving in that direction. I don't think you can, play off of No Way Home with him going fully into Spider-Man, and you would kind of lose the essence and the strength of his character. Part of what makes Peter Parker, such a strong, compelling character is, his ability to move through loss. And I think if they, with Brand New Day, I mean, just with the title alone, Brand New Day, and seeing where he was at the end of No Way Home, the self-sacrifice, the loss, everything. I think if this movie has kind of like what we were saying, Addy, you and I were talking the other day, how like a lot of these superhero movies are bringing like hope through tragedy and everything. If they kind of go in that direction with this movie, incorporate that with all the comic accurate stuff, the street level things, but have a good solid message behind it of like growth and becoming a better person, working through tragedy and loss and making something new out of it. I think that just setting them up for success. If you do that, follow that formula, it would be perfect.
So I think a lot of superhero movies now are doing that, because if we look back at like Quantumania, which I know no Marvel fan likes to talk about.
Sorry. Of all the movies to go back to, you pick Quantumania.
Okay, but listen, that movie had no message. And if it did, it was buried so deep that people can't figure it out.
I think the biggest message was Cassie's line to the big head dude, MODOK, I think.
MODOK.
Her really cringy weird line. Don't be a fill in the blank. I think that's the message from that movie summed up.
But it wasn't like superhero movies. People like go back to. I was talking about this with Zach earlier, of like nerding out. Like, you go back to certain characters because you relate to them on a level and you want to be like them. So I really connected to like Tony Stark in the beginning because I wanted to change who I am as a person. And Tony did that through his movies. It took a second because it was real and raw, and how, you can change who you are. And I think that was kind of one of the big messages with Tony's character. And I think a big message for Peter Parker is moving forward and not getting stuck in grief. So, like, having the superhero movies now go back to the message, like Thunderbolts, like the whole message is you're not alone, which sounds cringy, but when you watch it, it's incorporated in a way where it's not like screaming it at you, but it's like you feel warm inside after the movie's over. And like Fantastic Four, like family first, I've seen a few scenes of it and they did an amazing job with incorporating their family and kind of making it real and on a level where it relates to us. So I think superhero movies in general, just going back to being relatable and being about hope and having a message behind it, is something that like they're shaping to be more of. And I think we're kind of getting out of that like dip where all superhero movies kind of sucked for a while, and that was on DC sides too. It was kind of everywhere. And with Spider-Man, I'm really excited because Spider-Man's kind of the one, like Superman, Spider-Man, and Batman are like the three. Everyone knows what they are. If you don't, you've been living underneath a rock. And, Batman's always going to be dark and scary. But Superman and Spider-Man, especially all of this kind of happening at the same time, because Superman just came out. And Spider-Man, they just did this too. So basically kind of going back into where movies have a message, I think is really important, and I'm really glad Marvel's kind of paying attention to that now.
Yeah, I would agree, especially with looking back at the MCU post No Way Home, how Multiverse of Madness. What was the message in that? Can't really think of anything.
And they could have made a message. They really could have. And I think Love and Thunder, I think they tried, but it was just a spoof movie, honestly. It wasn't that good.
We need to pay Chris Hemsworth some more. Let's do one more. But Ragnarok made a lot of money because it was funny. So what if we do that again?
Just times 10, though.
Yeah, like with
we bring in a super serious villain in like the even more humorous than Ragnarok.
And they could have made
that'll work.
I could talk for hours about how Love and Thunder could have been such a good movie if they just did it differently. I think it had a message behind it they were trying to get out. But the thing is, the messages in movies, you can't have it buried so deep. Like, and it might come off when, it's like, don't judge a book by its cover. Like, that kind of thing. It sounds cringy, but that message is with, like, Tony Stark, for example. Tony Stark, from the outside looks like an egotistical... He kind of is, but like philanthropist, billionaire guy, if you were a normal person in today's world and you know who Tony Stark was and he was like a real person, you probably hate him, honestly, because you would judge him because you didn't know him. But the movies allow us to get an inside perspective on all of these characters, and then you understand a lot more. So like having messages incorporated in them, I think is so important. And I think just filmmaking in general lost it for a while, and was focusing on like, I couldn't even tell you because
money,
that
money,
and like
money.
AI overusage, CGI all the time. Like getting back to practical where your roots lie, like of filmmaking and everything, I think is just so important. And I'm so glad that, now with Brand New Day, I'm gonna try and wrap this up because we have like 5 minutes left. But with Brand New Day, it honestly, not to make a cringy thing, it honestly feels like kind of a brand new start for Marvel of filmmaking, where we're kind of going into practical, back on street level, where superheroes are supposed to be like symbols of hope. And
yep, I completely agree.
That's all for today's episode.
Thank you guys so much for watching.
Be sure to swing by and check out the rest of our episodes.
We'll catch you on the next one.
Sam Wilson's wings were given to him by the Wakandans.
Okay.
Outro. Makes sense that he would have nanotech.
Guys, what's the outro again? Because I always forget it. Give me a second.
Addy, come on.
Hold on, I know it. Listen, you saw the quality of our first
I have
episodes.
not been difficult.
You have been difficult all day.
You guys are acting like me and Charlotte right now. So what do we do for the intro again? It's like, hey, who says hey, guys?
Oh my gosh. Why is there an octopus on the mic?
It's Spidey.
I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Welcome to the Spider Palace podcast.
Hey, guys.
Addy,
Yeah?
just don't. Welcome to the Spider Palace podcast. Good luck.